sideways, holding tight, praying hard through every fight. Got no wins, but I got pride. Made it through the other side. Yellow flags like warning signs, but I ain't falling for their lines. Got nerves of steel, a shaky hand. This ain't a game, it's fight or land. Saw that 18 catch the wall, 21 spun, took out them all. But somehow I found the lane, like Moses through that fire and rain. Yeah, I thread the needle, dodge the flame, every pile up calling my name. Wrecks behind me, wrecks ahead, but I ain't wrecked, I ain't dead. Sliding sideways, holding tight, praying hard through every fight. Got no wins, but I got pride. Made it through the other side. No checkered flag, no champagne rain, but I kept it clean through the carnage and pain. One more lap, one more breath, a dance with danger, a race with death. Still I thread the needle, feel the flame. Every turn's a twist of fate's game. Wrecks behind me, wrecks ahead, but I ain't wrecked, I ain't dead. Sliding sideways, holding tight, out of chaos into light. No first place, but man, I ride with fire still burning inside. Yeah, I thread the needle in this wild racing ride. Strapped in tight, green lights flashing, rubbers burning, hearts are clashing, tires screaming that southern heat. 200 strong on the NASCAR beat. Lap 5 wreck on turn 4, smoke so thick can't see the door. But somehow I slip right through like a ghost in red, white, and blue. 'Cause I thread the needle, dodge the flame, every pile up calling my name. Wrecks behind me, wrecks ahead, but I ain't wrecked, I ain't dead. Sliding sideways, holding tight, praying hard through every fight. Got no wins, but I got pride. Made it through the other side. Yellow flags like warning signs, but I ain't falling for their lines. Got nerves of steel, a shaky hand. This ain't a game, it's fight or land. Saw that 18 catch the wall, 21 spun, took out them all. But somehow I found the lane, like Moses through that fire and rain. Yeah, I thread the needle, dodge the flame, every pile up calling my name. Wrecks behind me, wrecks ahead.
All right, so here we go. We are back with you, Racers Elite Network, throwing up another fantastic race in these Next Gen Series. We are coming to you here at Texas. It might say Atlanta, like I think it has most of this year, but that is Texas for sure. That is where we are at. Let's see if we can get that thing to change one more time. I do have back in the booth with me Russ Martin Jr. Russ, it is good to have you back, my friend.
Yeah, man, I was gone there last week. Had a little bit of something to do, but glad to be back here for the regular season finale for this Next Gen Series for Racers Elite. Playoffs starting next week. So last chance for somebody to race their way into the playoffs.
Yeah, and as we look at that, let's take a look at where we're at in the points here at Texas and what we've got to deal with. McRae is going to take over that lead. And Russ, you were not here last week. McRae really had that car to beat later on in the run. Troy Thomas pulling a amazing move, getting that fuel to stretch. He's going to pick up that win, but McRae with a great finish. He finished second and is your pole sitter tonight. So you can see really taking over this top spot. But really our battle tonight, Russ, is going to be right around from about 10th to about 15th position.
Yeah, there's a couple drivers out there right now that's, only a couple points above the cut line. I've seen Jesse Fox is currently on the cut line at, I believe, it's +6. So he's going to have to definitely keep his wits about him tonight if he's going to make his way into the playoffs this season.
Yeah, and so Gary Bowman is right there on that cut line as well. So if you look at it, you've got Gary, Robert Yost is right there, Ira Colehouse is there, Marquis is there. Now, Gary has, he has to make this race, and he is...
Say, I don't see Gary here tonight.
Gary is not here tonight, Russ. So Gary is not going to make these playoffs here in that top 12. You got Rob Yost Jr., Ira Colehouse is here. Ira has to be here. He is going to be out here on the track tonight. As a matter of fact, it looks like we show him at about 8th right now on the board. But Jesse Fox, Aaron Marquis, Trevor, all fairly secure in if they can start this race. Trevor's going to start in the back. He does not have a qualifying time. Aaron Marquis, let's see where Aaron is at right now. Aaron 14th on the board. He does have a qualifying time in. Jesse Fox is 10th on your board. So those three drivers are fighting Yost and Ira and Kinsley Smith. Now, Kinsley did not meet the requirements for enough races here to make it into the top 12, but he is out here wanting to get another win tonight.
Yeah, Kinsley always one of them ones that, usually a threat to win a championship. And, I know he's missed a couple of races this season. They had a couple of things going on. So, unfortunately, not going to be able to make a run at the title this season here. But, yeah, I mean, like you said, Ira and Aaron and Rob and Jesse, it looks like these four are going to be battling out for that last transfer position.
Yes, and not only that last transfer position, but let's take a look now. Tonight is the end of your regular season, Russ, and then we're going to go to Daytona, Kentucky Auto Club in Pocono. So we talked about this last week in depth, where you're looking at these four tracks, Daytona, Kentucky, Auto Club, Pocono, and you have to think outside of Kentucky, which is a mile and a half, still draft dependent, but a mile and a half track, Daytona, Auto Club, Pocono, three super draft dominant tracks that we're going to have this season in the playoffs really have to benefit some of those drivers that enjoy that pack racing, enjoy being in a big crowd, and we have several of those drivers that's going to make that top 12.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you take a look at guys like Truth Hoke and Andrew Teff, and even James McRae. I mean, those guys usually pretty solid on the restrictor plate or drafting tracks. So, I mean, definitely a couple names to watch because, like you said, 3 out of those 4 races are going to be very draft dependent. So those guys like that draft, and I think they'll be the ones to watch.
Yep, I completely agree with you. But we still have some damage to do tonight because, as you know, some of these drivers, it's win and you're in. So a couple of these drivers, if they get that win, we're going to pop this back up. Let's see if we can get, as now qualifying is going to be over. So we want to hide that schedule, pop this back up. So what we're going to look at right now, Rob Yost Jr., Ira, if those 2 drivers win, they are in. So we are going to keep a very close eye on those drivers. But now we got a little house cleaning to do, is we're going to show where we are at right now for your qualifying. And as we talked about a bit before, James McRae is going to be your pole sitter once again tonight, a 29.057. Corey's going to be right there in second, Andrew Teff in third, Kinsley Smith in fourth, Truth Hoke in fifth, Kirby is going to be in sixth, and Troy Thomas, they're in seventh. Ira's going to be in eighth, Alex Gates in ninth, Dennis Kane rounding out your top 10.
Then Jesse Fox, the guy on the bubble right now, is going to start 11th. Aiden Malcolm is going to start 12th. And then Alex Stepp in 13th. Aaron Marquis, Rob Yost, two guys who are trying to fight their way into these playoffs, is going to start 14th and 15th. Chris Pendell, the season's winningest driver so far, going to start back in the pack in 16th, and then Trevor's going to round this field out in 17th.
Yeah, and just a little bit of information for you folks. We talked to Pendell a bit earlier, and Pendell stated that he's going to be a start and part tonight. So it looks like Pendell is going to just maybe turn a lap, Russ, just to stay qualified for the championship. He's got some other stuff going on tonight. And so that is going to put him at probably the back of this pack. So if we look at it, you're probably looking at 16 strong that's going to take the green flag here at Texas. We're going to spend a couple of laps inside of these cars going around this Texas Motor Speedway. We want to see how these next-gen cars handle. But from your perspective, what do you think we can look for here at 105 laps around Texas?
Well, I mean, number one, with Chris pulling a starting part, that's going to make the fight even tougher for these guys trying to battle their way in. It's going to make the positions just one position tighter. So I think the key is going to be keeping your car clean. I think we're looking at probably running the bottom. Most of the time Texas is your best tire saving strategy is going to be running the bottom. You can run the top here, but I would say for just a limited time only. Other than that, I mean, it's about getting settled in and start turning these laps down, but keeping that car clean. I mean, it's 105 laps. I mean, I think we're looking probably only one pit stop here tonight. I believe we're looking around 60 laps or so for maybe a tank of fuel. So I would see anywhere past the halfway mark. If this thing goes green from the get-go is when we'll start seeing guys coming down pit road. Any kind of late race cautions. I mean, that could change it up too. You could have guys coming down and doing some pit strategy, taking two freshies. I mean, you just never know. But right now, those guys who are trying to win their way in or point their way in, they've got to try to do something different here to try to make those extra points up to be able to lock themselves into the playoffs.
Yeah, it's a really good point, because I do think kind of what I think about when I look at what it's going to take to get around Texas is managing the 3 and 4, turns 3 and 4, and being able to keep that car on that right front so that you stay off of the right rear. You need that right rear for 1 and 2, so it's being able to manage both sides of this track here at Texas. Is now this 27 car, James McRae, bringing this thing down yet again. He is right inside that Geico zone. 105 laps, green flag is out, and we are on that loud pedal, and we are live here at Texas. The 27 getting a great jump, 98 there of Teft. He is going to follow right in line, and that's what you're going to see a lot tonight, Russ. That bottom line just being dominant on that first turn restarts.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, like I said, you can run that upper lane here at Texas. You can get some really good runs out of the corner, especially through turns 1 and 2. Though you kind of want to be on the bottom. You can drive your car in just a little bit harder in 1 and 2 because the entry is more open than what they are in 3 and 4. So, I mean, you definitely kind of want to try to be at the bottom through 1 and 2 just because you can drive that thing in deeper. But 3 and 4, you could get some good runs off on that upper or that middle to upper lane. But like I said, wouldn't be up there for long. But I'm pretty sure we're going to see that bottom lane being most dominant here tonight.
Yeah, I agree. And Teft has shown a little muscle early on in this race. He has jumped out to that lead, really got underneath with a great exit of 2. Now it looks like McRae is going to put the pressure back on the 98, get back to that bumper for him. But Teft still with a great jump. He is going to be your leader right now, and it looks like McRae early on throttle, and man, he is going to jump to that outside. Maybe Teft getting a little loose there on the exit of 2.
Yeah, like I said, you see that run that McRae was able to get there coming out of that corner, able to get back almost clear of Teft there, not quite. Teft's going to run him back to the inside. Maybe, like you said, when he got just a little bit loose, these guys are going to bounce side by side in the turn.
Man, it looks like McRae is going to hang that right rear quarter panel, and he is going to stay right there on the outside. He's going to get a nice run, but that pass not able to get done. It looks like Teft now really pushing to stay out front, and as we see these two drivers Kinsley Smith now passing Corey. That is going to be a pass for third position. So now Corey's going to fall back to fourth, and he is going to fall right into the grasp here of Truth Hoke.
Yeah, somebody else back there, Kirby Wainscott. I know he's been running really, really well as of late here at Racers Elite. I think he picked up a win the other night, as a matter of fact, in one of the other series that runs. But so I mean, definitely another name to watch out for. Looks like he's kind of been on a tear, but Truth Hoke trying to run that 20 car down too.
Man, we have got battles all over the track here. Ira Kohlhaas now is going after the 77 of Gates. Gates had a great run, Russ, all race long last week, and just not able to get those finishes that he deserves, as now Truth Hoke is going to go around that 20 car. So now the 55 up into fourth. Kirby Wainscott's going to be a couple of positions behind Truth. Now he's going to start looking at the back end of this 20.
Yeah, Corey maybe going into a little bit of a tire conservation mode here. I mean, I know sometimes Texas can be really rough on the tires. I don't think the track temp is too awful high here tonight, but I know in the past Texas has kind of been known for chewing up some tires if you try too hard, run too hard for too long. So might be just a little bit of a tire saving strategy going on for Corey right now, but Truth Hoke definitely working his way up towards the run.
Yeah, and McRae was able to get back around Andrew Teft, and he is going to take that lead back over. We missed that somehow in our conversations, but we do have that on film. So let's go back and take a look at what happened. McRae just getting down underneath of Teft here in the entry of 3, and he is going to get that pass done nice and easy. It looks like Teft might be battling a loose car here.
I was gonna say just maybe a little bit of a wiggle I seen there through the center, maybe cost Teft just a little bit. And now that pass has been made, maybe Teft will now go into a little bit of a tire conservation mode, as you can see him under fire from Kinsley Smith.
Yeah, and I just watch Kinsley, and I watch him week in and week out, Russ, and you can just see this car nice and under control, really hooking that white line, and that has always been the quickest way in iRacing to get around these tracks and to save tire, is to just nail that white line. He does such a great job at it. He really puts that next gen left front fender below the driver in front of him, and what that gives you is it gives you more downforce than just following those tire tracks of that 98. So he is working this car over, trying to save those tires while looking to get past that 98 for second position.
Yeah, he keeps sticking that nose out, trying to get just a little bit of that fresh air too, because here at Texas, sometimes that dirty air can really make your car handle terrible. So you can see him, about that, a half a car lower than what Andrew's running, maybe just trying to keep a little bit of fresh air on the nose of that car.
Yeah, and it looks like he is going to make that move now. He is going to get down into turn 3, get underneath of Teft. It looks like Teft has a nice line on the exit of 4, but I just think Kinsley's got a quicker car right now.
Yeah, that's what it seems. I mean, like I said earlier, the bottom line, definitely a quicker line, and it seems like it's paying off. The outside there, you can hang with that car on the inside, but I mean, in the long run, you're just chewing your tires up just a little bit more and more every lap you make up there. So right now, I think probably Andrew would maybe want to back out just a little bit, tuck in behind that 15, and just keep that nose clean.
Man, he does not want to do that, Russ. It looks like he is going to stay on that outside, door to door, wheel to wheel. The 15 and the 98, they're going to shoot down into 1. And it looks like just over time, you can see that bottom line is going to prevail. He is now clear from Teft. Going to get out in front. Now he's going to wiggle a bit. Now Teft is going to try the crossover move. 13 laps in, Russ. We are racing.
Yeah, man, trying to get that spot back from Kinsley there. I mean, of course, Andrew doesn't necessarily want to see James McRae get out to too big of a lead because, I mean, that's the man that he's chasing in points. Only being 1 point back, I mean, he does not want to give up too many points, and each position is a point. So, I mean, he definitely doesn't want to see McRae get too far out in front here and risk losing more points heading into these playoffs.
No, and it looks like Kinsley's going to get a nice run on the outside. This has brought Hoke into this battle. Kirby Wainscott not too far behind the 55 machine. So, and Kinsley, he worked really hard to get by Teft, and now he's going to get that little bit of a bobble and get crossed over. And you would think Kinsley and Teft need to get this thing figured out, because now McRae is out to a 2.5 seconds over these two drivers.
Yeah, ever since these guys went side by side, McRae's slowly been creeping away up to about a 1.5, 1.6 second gap right now. And it's also allowed Truth Hoke and Kirby Winscott to go close in on this mix here for P2. So they need to get it settled and settled quicker, or else they're going to be under fire from two other guys looking for spots.
Yeah, this battle is still not over, as now Smith going to cross over the 98. Down into one we go. And again, I do think that Smith's going to be able to get this done, but when he slides in front of Teft, he's going to have to keep that momentum to stop that crossover from happening.
Yeah, you see him just get a little bit loose right there. Again, coming on the exit of 2 there. You're going to keep Andrew in the mix for right now. Keep him high and tight there, but eventually I think this is going to play out in Kinsley's favor. But, you know, what cost is they're going to go 3 wide with Trevor, slower car, going a lap down.
Yeah, and you would think Kinsley might have tried to use Trevor as a pick. He did not do that. Now that pass is done. Now we're going to see, and it looks like Teft is going to try that crossover again. Kinsley really needs to block the bottom here and not allow that crossover to happen. He's not. He's going to open the door just a bit for Teft. Now it looks like maybe the 15 has got this pass done. No, he is going to keep the bottom open. Teft is going to fill that void, and we are now back to battling here for the second position.
You know, one thing about Andrew Teft is if you ever leave a hole anywhere on the track, he's going to take it. And he just did it again right here as these guys go back side by side down the backstretch.
Man, it looks like the 15 now has that position. He has wrestled it away from the 98. My goodness, what a battle between these two drivers. That has now allowed the 27 of McRae to get out to almost 2 seconds. 1.9 is going to be your gap between the 15 and the 27. But we've got some tighter battles back here as we're going to go back to around the 12th position. That's Alex Teft in that 43. He is right behind the 4 Dennis Kane. And now Pindell, who was a starting part, looks like he's decided to turn a couple laps right here in 13th.
Yeah, you know, once you, it's really easy to say you're going to start the park. Then there you get out there and you get the battle and start fighting with people, and that kind of just goes away. I mean, I'm sure he probably, if he has something else going on, he probably will leave at some point, but why not mix it up a little bit before you got to go?
And mix it up. He is doing 20 laps in now of 105, and he is going to stick that car to the outside there of the 43. Looks like he's going to get that pass done. Now, Yost and Marquis, they are side by side. Marquis is going to get that pass done on Yost right behind these two drivers. That puts Marquis up to 14th. Yost is in 15th as the 94 and the 43 continuing to battle here.
Yeah, I mean, these guys are not going easy on each other, that's for sure. I mean, 94 getting passed down on the outside, which, you know, we really haven't seen much here tonight so far. I mean, we're only 20 laps in, but really haven't seen too many passes being made on that outside. You know, we've been seeing the inside be that predominant line, but maybe the outside line is starting to slowly work its way in, John.
That is going to be a viable line, especially in 3 and 4, Russ. I think once they get a little bit of wear on these tires, you're going to start to see these drivers migrate up to about midline in 3 and exiting lower in 4, especially if they put a lot of rear wear on these tires, because they're going to get loose getting back to throttle in the middle of 3 and 4. So we're going to see how that's going to happen. Now, Pindell is certainly working that high line to try to get around some of these drivers, but looks like maybe he is getting a bit tight, as now the 43 is going to shoot back underneath, come back to him and try to get this battle done and try to get that spot back.
Again, just left that bottom line open just enough for Alex to be able to sneak his nose in there, and now he's going to be looking, and they're going to drag race down the backstretch. He's going to be looking to get that spot back that Chris took from him going out into turn 3.
Does look like he is going to get that pass done. Pindell is going to slide back behind the 43. Alex Teft now is going to hang on to 3rd, or 12th, I'm sorry. It looks like Kane is going to be in 11th. Jesse Fox is right there in 10th. So these drivers are about 3 under a blanket. Now you can see the 69 of Jesse He is right in front of Dennis Kane, but about a second in front of these three drivers.
Yeah, and right now Jesse's just kind of hoping that he can just kind of settle in and keep that car nice and smooth so that he can pick up that final transfer position. One thing I just noticed here, John, is one of those guys that was battling for that transfer position looks like he has decided to take his truck to the hauler tonight. Rob Yost, it looks like, is out of this race.
Yeah, and Trevor is about 9 laps down, Russ, and I think Trevor was sitting in 10th in the points, so I believe he is going to be fairly safe, but Rob Yost decided to go down pit road. Is now the 43 is going to get tied on the exit of 4 and bring the 94 right back into the picture here. Man, both of these drivers showing a lot of speed. Now, I will tell you what is happening up front now. You've got James McRae. He was up about 2 seconds over your second place of Kinsley. Kinsley getting that battle done with the 98 has started to creep back in. He has cut this lead down by about 7/10. 27 laps in here, Russ. So it looks like he is on the march forward and he is going after this lead.
Yeah, 15 is definitely coming. Caught about 8/10 off of that lead so far here. 27 laps in, but I'm wondering. I don't really have much access to those lap times. I'm wondering if maybe McRae is backing off just a little bit to try to save a little tire, which has allowed Kinsley to kind of run him back down, or if Kinsley is just really pushing and trying to catch McRae at this point.
Yeah, I do not hear McRae. McRae is not. He is certainly nice and smooth. He's playing with a lot of margin. You can see he did not get that car really close to that outside wall. So very interesting to hear McRae keep that thing in fifth through 3 and 4. Because you certainly think you'll get a little bit more rotation and drive off if you're in fourth at 3 and 4. But he is choosing to stay in fifth and save that right front tire. You can hear that downshift here, and it looks like he's exiting well. But it just seems like he is well within himself making this run. But as he is doing that, Kinsley getting ever so closer. Now only 8/10 of a second is going to separate your front two.
Yeah, cut another about 4/10 off in just the last 2 laps. So that 15 of Kinsley Smith definitely making a charge after Jason McRae.
Yes, he is. Now, we're going to go right back here to a battle between Ira and Jesse Fox. Jesse was in 10th. He is going to make that pass on Ira. Ira starting to slow back down, but you can see these drivers right behind him. You've got Dennis Kane, Alex Teff now underneath of Dennis. The 94 still right there. So a lot of drivers starting to come back now. It looks like Dennis Kane might lose 2 positions here just in a single lap as he is starting to get a bit tight and pushy here on the exit of 4.
Yeah, one of them situations if your tire starts to wear off and you get kind of hung out there on that outside lane, you get freight trained. Just see the 43 get by him. Now the 94, Chris Pendel gets by him. So two spots within a lap he just lost, but now he's looking to cross over Pendel on the inside, trying to get that spot back.
Man, we've seen that a lot tonight already. That crossover move so strong on the exit of 2. Pendel, I believe, is going to get a very nice run here on the exit of 4. And he is going to be able to get this pass done. He's going to tuck right back in line behind the 43. So him and the 43 car is certainly moving forward in this race right now. It looks like Ira's the one on the struggle buses. Now he is up high, it looks like he's having a difficult time, Russ, keeping that car down. Just getting pushy through the center and even on the entry of these turns. But that's just allowed these drivers that save tires to just beat him by a couple of tenths a lap.
Yeah, we just saw right there in 3 and 4. I mean, not even able to get down to the bottom of, onto that white line on exit. Obviously, way up there by that wall up into the 3rd lane, which is kind of no man's land here in Texas. So definitely getting tight. Probably wore those tires out just a little bit, but the 43 now looking to attack.
Yeah, that right front is struggling on the 81. Like you said, he was up there in no man's land in 1 and 2, and you can always tell that by the tire marks on 1 and 2, and you can see that right below that seam. Now he is starting to run well above that seam to try to get a bit more rotation and pick a different line. And he's getting a fantastic run off of 2, but that is just going to last for a few laps here, Russ, because you got to think that is killing that right front tire on that 81.
Yeah, absolutely. If he's got a pushy condition and he's trying to run that close to the wall while trying to keep it off, yeah, he's definitely burning up that tire even more. So, I mean, maybe he knows something that we don't, but normally, I mean, here we usually see guys running below that seam there, and he is well above it.
Yeah, and it looked like he had a fantastic run because he was right on the back end of the 69. So maybe he has found something. He certainly found it here in 3 and 4. So if you watch him come off of this turn in 3 and 4, he gets a great run down this straightaway and almost got to the outside of the 69. But it looks like maybe that tire wear's coming in a bit more as he's fallen off, you know, just a little by little every single lap here.
Yeah, we keep seeing that 43. I mean, he's getting those great runs off the 81 there, but we keep seeing the 43 inch a little bit further and further ahead on the corner exit before the 81's going to get there, and eventually that 43 is going to pull a slide down and try to squeeze himself up there in front of that 81. He's going to get tired of running side by side. We see him tucking in right here, coming off the full crosswalk.
Yeah, I feel like maybe Russ, this 81 has found something. Look at him go high, wide, and handsome like Harry again, right? He is getting way up there, well above that seam. Nobody else is running up there. Maybe just a virgin track on the top of that. And now he has picked himself a great line in 3 and 4. Just watch the exit that he gets here, and he might get to the outside of the 69. He's going to do that.
Yeah, got a great run off the 4 up there on that high side of the 43. Go look underneath him here. Possibly looking maybe go 3 wide here soon enough, but 81 getting a good run off the corner, able to get up beside that 69. 43 possibly going to look to the inside and put that 69 in the middle through 3 and 4 here potentially.
Man, what a great battle. You're right, Russ. You've got to start thinking through the 43. You need to go. The more you have to pinch your car down on the exit of these turns, the worse it is on the right front. So you either want to get past the driver here or you want to just fall in line. One way or the other, what you don't want to do is continue to use that right front to get by. And man, it just looks like the 81 is getting such a fantastic run on the exit of 2 and the exit of 4. It's just hard to see them getting around him right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely, they do not want to give up the spot, either one of them, but I mean, we saw the 81 and the 43 get right up to that back bumper of the 69, and then that one lap, the 81 not able to maybe run up as high as he wanted to, and they slowly started losing that 69.
Yeah, and as that battle goes on, folks, we want to keep you up to date on what's happening in the front. Kinsley Smith, that was your second place driver. He has decided to come down pit road and get service done. So is Troy Thomas in that 3. That is last week's winner. And then here comes your leader at lap 41 of 105. We have been green flag all the way through since the drop of that initial start. 27 is going to come down and get his service done. And Russ, I got to think that is just part of the battle that they had to go through early on. And it looked like the 15 might be catching him. And I would think that the 27 doesn't want to lose any more time right now.
Yeah, that's for sure. I mean, he definitely wants to get himself back out there, regain that lead once everybody else comes down pit road. I mean, I'm kind of surprised that the guys were pitting this early. Maybe my calculations for the fuel run were just a little bit off. I mean, I was figuring about 60 laps, so I figured they split this thing right down the middle, come in at the halfway point or come in around lap 50. But coming in around lap 40, I mean, that's going to make it a 2-stop race then.
Yeah, definitely a 2-stop race from what I can see. Now, Christopher Pindell is going to come down. Now, that is going to turn this thing over to Kirby Wainscott as it looks like Teft Andrew is going to come down and get his pit stop done. Now, that leaves Kirby, Corey, Alex Teft, and Jesse Fox. All of those drivers have not pit yet. Your first driver, we're going to see how this is going to shake out, but I do believe this driver right here in this 15 machine, Russ, is going to be your leader with everything. And now we've got a caution.
Like down there on that back straightaway, a couple of guys getting together. Looks like maybe Truth Hoke, and Trevor.
Let's take a look and see what happened. Truth is getting his pissed off. Oh, he's going to get down on the apron. Man, he's going to lose it. Oh, and he's going to go right back up the track. That is just, and Dennis Kane is going to get it. Oh, that is
That
a
55
broken
just
toe.
getting that,
Mm.
just getting that pit stop done and just getting loose down there on the apron. I mean, you got to stay down on that apron to that blue cone, and sometimes it's not easy to hold that car down there and keep it straight. So tough break there for the 55, but you know he's got a fast repair. He can come down and take that fast repair and get right back out there.
Yeah, so we're going to reset this. We're going to see how everything's going to go out. Now, Corey, Alex, Jesse, and it looks like Kirby, although he's 50 seconds behind. All of those drivers are on the lead lap, but they're going to come down and get pit service here. That is going to leave Andrew Teft, Kinsley Smith, James McRae, Pindell, Gates, all of those drivers that are a single lap down, they're going to be on the back end of the lead lap. What that means is they're going to stay behind this caution truck. When the lights go out, they're going to go all the way around. They're going to get back to the back end of the lead lap. So they don't have a lot of wear and tear on these tires, Russ. So I've got to think it's not going to be that big of a deal. They're going to get to the back end and they're going to have to fight their way through about 5 or 6 drivers. But it seems like this might work out okay for those drivers.
Yeah, I think it'll be all right. I mean, I think there's only maybe 2 or 3 laps there for the 15. I mean, he was the first one to peek his nose down pit road, so I mean he's going to have a couple of laps less than what these other guys are. But I don't think it'll hurt too awful much. But I mean, we've seen stranger things where tires have been more important than what we thought. So
that is a good point. Now, if we take a look at it, I feel like so. The 15 of Kinsley came down on lap 39. And then McRae came down on lap 40. Everybody else 42, 41, or 44. So they will have a few laps older tires and fuel than these other drivers.
yeah, I mean, a couple of laps. I mean, it might hurt them in the long run, but early on, it may not be too much of a fall off. I mean, ultimately, the guys out front on the fresher tires, those tires are going to equalize, and you know, a couple of laps like that, I don't think are really going to matter. But it'd be really interesting to see though how these guys are able to work their way back up through traffic. You know, they started up front, so they've had that clean air, you know, all race long. Well, now they're going to be mired back there in that dirty air. So it's going to be interesting to see how they're able to manage the traffic to try to work their way back up to the front.
Yeah, that's a good point. Now, it looks like Kinsley is going to be in 5th. He was going to be your overall leader when that caution cycle ended. You've got Andrew Teft in 6th, and then you got James McRae right there in 7th. Pindell is going to be in 8th. So those 4 drivers are really going to be battling to get in front of these. Now, what you do have, though, is some older tires, just by a few laps, but older tires nonetheless than all of these drivers up front, and that is Corey, Alex, Jesse Fox, Kirby Wainscott. All 4 of those drivers have fresh tires and fresh fuel in these next-gen cars.
Yeah, they'll have a little bit more speed at the start of this thing, but after these tires equalize, it's going to be interesting to see how much of a difference there is between that 3 or 4 lap difference in tire wear. So these guys are coming out of 4, getting ready to go back green flag racing. Corey Cowell is going to bring them down to the green flag. He's going to have control of this thing.
All right, so these 2 green cars, they're going to be side by side, and there you go. That green flag is in the air. Great jump by the 20. Good jump by the 43. They're going to go 1 and 2 down here into turn 1. We've got a driver already up there on that high side. Kirby Wainscott now battling with the 69 machine. Trevor's going to be on the high side getting past. Kinsley Smith going underneath the Hoke. So Kinsley still battling his way up to the front. Now Kinsley passing Hoke. Looks like he is still going to be in that 5th position.
Yeah, we can see Andrew Teff trying to work his way back up there. He's down there on the bottom side of Cruz Open, and that 27 going to try to follow suit too as soon as that 98 gets clear, if he can get there in time.
Yeah, they are fanning out. We've got some 2x2 racing. Pindell is underneath of the 81. Truth Hoke is a lap down, so he is a lapped car getting past now, and he is going to get passed by the 94, is going to clear him. So the 98, the 27, and the 94 all by Hoke. Man, this driver right here trying to check out. He is 6/10 up on Alex Teft. Alex, one of your tougher customers when we start playing some tire and fuel strategy. He is not going to give up that easy. Now 7/10 is going to separate your first and second drivers.
Yeah, we've seen Alex, have really good runs later on in the race. He's able to manage his tires really well. Corey, I mean, he's definitely no slouch. He was pretty quick in practice. Had a pretty good qualifying time. So, to see him out front starting to stretch this thing isn't really too big of a shock. But we see that 15 starting to jump there to the outside, trying to work his way back to the front.
Yeah, Kinsley's got a machine tonight, Russ. He is going to the outside here of Fox in that 69. He is going to get that pass done for fourth. Teft and McCray are some of those drivers that have those older tires on. They're going to try to work their way back up, but it just looks like you've got some drivers that are really off cycle, but looks like Kinsley Smith in the 15 making the most of those tires. He has the oldest, Russ, come down in lap 39, so he does have the oldest tires out of all of these, looks like top 15 drivers.
Yeah, I mean, for him to be able to start making runs and passes, those worn tires, I mean, it's definitely a testament to his ability and how well his car is handling right now. I mean, we know the 98 and the 27 are wanting to get up there too, but the 15 just kind of seems to be on a rail right now, being able to run his way back up there on about 3 or 4 lap older tires than what these guys out front have.
Yeah, now it looks like McCray is working on the back end of the 98, so I feel like the 27 starting to get himself into the rhythm that he needs to be in when he was leading this race. But, I just feel like, Russ, maybe you want to hang 1 and 2 bumper to bumper, try to get up to some of these other drivers before you fight this thing out.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I said earlier, trying to get yourself back into a rhythm. We had that caution, and then, things kind of got thrown for a loop there for a little bit. But, that's the biggest thing, is just kind of try to settle yourself back in and start getting things, wound back down again, and then slowly start making your way back up to the front. But one man we know is definitely not slowly working his way back up to the front is that 15 car, Kinsley Smith, and right there trying to track down that 10 of Kirby Langston.
Man, and I will tell you, Kinsley is on the march forward, but it does look like Alex Teft in that 43 is starting to chip away at that lead that Corey has in the lead there in that 20 car. But man, we are watching a great drive by Kinsley. He really has this car hooked up. He knows how to get around Texas, and here he goes looking underneath of the 10. Kirby already starting to push about mid-turn in 3 and 4, and Kirby again, we talked about what Kinsley's able to do and just stick those left sides right against that white line in 3 and 4, just getting a great drive off.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely powering out of the corner. He's using all the track, going all the way from the bottom to the wall on exit, using up as much space as he possibly can to try to get as much speed as he can. Definitely got a machine hauling in there.
Yeah, Hoke is now going to be battling with Marquis, is going to get that pass done as caution is going to come out once again, 57 laps in. Looks like Hayden Malcolm is showing crashed. Let's go back and see what happened to Hayden. Oh, he's just going to get loose here, Russ. It looks like he's fine. Oh, he's going to get sideways and start over-correcting. And oh my goodness, Dennis Kane is going to dodge a bullet there. He wasn't able to dodge the one before, but he is going to be able to dodge this 91 car.
Yeah, just got a little loose there through the exit. Not able to get it back underneath you, and that happens sometimes. But again, we got that fast repair. So if he took too much damage from hitting that wall, he'd come down and get that fast repair, be as good as new, and get right back out there and start fighting again.
Now let's see what happens, because I believe we're going to be in the window to finish this race off. If we have a full tank of fuel, I would assume every driver's going to come down. Here they come. They're going to be on a new set of tires. It looks like the 81 of Ira, he is going to stay out. But I do believe they can make it to the end here, Russ.
Yeah, it's quite possible. Looks like there's 4 guys that are choosing to stay out right now. I think they're all the lap guys trying to get that wave around, get their lap back. So it looks like everybody on the lead lap chose to come down pit road.
Yeah, we're going to see how this battle on the exit of pits. And you can see McRae is down. He is your pole sitter. Now, Alex Teft is already gone as the left start to come up. Kinsley's gone. Kinsley might be third on the exit. So you've got Alex beating Corey. What has happened to Corey? He's still in his pit stall. Is that some damage repaired? Let's go back and take a look here. Why did he have such a long pit stop? I don't see him sliding through
the box a little bit. I was just gonna say that was the only thing I could think. Yeah, maybe he had just a little bit of damage to get repaired, because it don't look like he had a good entry and a solid exit. Don't look like he slid through at all. So
yeah, right's going up. Let's see what happens here. Left's going up. Let's see if he just stays into the pits, Russ, to get some damage repaired. And that's what he's going to do. Yep, so he's not taking off now. He is definitely getting some damage repaired. All right, so that is going to put the 20 car all the way back to 10th position. He's going to come down and probably top off here just to make sure that he can make it. Now, let's see if we can reset this for you. We are 59 laps in. You're going to have Alex Teft as your leader. Kirby Waistcott in that 10. He is going to be on the outside. Kinsley Smith is going to be third. Andrew Teft is in the 98 in fourth, with McRae right there in fifth. So that's your top 5. Man, the lights are already out on that pace truck. So we are going to go back green with 60 laps in the books. That's going to give us 45 to go. I do believe all of these drivers now are going to be on the fringe, Russ, of being able to make it if they save a bit of fuel here.
yeah, I'm not really sure what I mean, maybe that the whole earlier pit was just strictly because of tires. I mean, from what I understood earlier, when I myself hopped in the car, it looked like it was going to be about around 60 to 65 laps on a fuel run. So I mean, if that really is the case, that's definitely going to be enough fuel to get us to the end of this thing, even with overtime. It's just the fact of managing those tires and making sure the tires are going to last you. So that earlier pit stop at around lap 39 to 42 could have just been tires that caused that, because it looks like the fuel run is just a little bit more than what they were actually able to get.
All right, so green flag is in the air, and now that 43 with a fantastic jump along with that 15. And they are going to come around right here through 1 and 2. Kinsley all over the back end now. James McRae is going to make a move. He is going to take over third with a great start as well. Kirby really tight on the exit of 4 between those two drivers, but 27 is going to get that pass done. Kirby's going to slide back to 4th, and really, when you look at it now, I believe that battle has been between the 27 and the 98 most of the night, because it looks like, man, the driver that I just feel like Russ has shown the most speed is right here battling for the lead again.
Yeah, you had a strong car all night long. I mean, 27 and James McRae qualifying on the pole, getting out to that early lead, leading the first couple handfuls of laps out there. But this 15, after about lap 20, he's just kind of found something for himself. His car's just kind of been on the rail with a lot of speed and a lot of control. So 15 is definitely, I think, going to be the one to beat tonight with the 27 is trying to look to hunt him down.
Yeah, getting that 15, just hanging that bottom line. Teft a little wide on the exit of that turn. Now, you might see a crossover here. It's not going to happen. Nose to tail, tire to tire. They are going to go into turns 1 and 2, and it looks like Alex Teft taking that little lower line. And when you take that lower line on exit, Russ, that just means you're just waiting a bit longer on throttle, and that's going to help you on that right front in the long haul. But, man, this 15 is just climbing all over the back end of that 43.
Yeah, he's just kind of like looking for that one spot that he could take to try to make this jump and get up underneath, or even to the top side of the 43. I mean, 15 is looking on both sides trying to figure out where he can go. And he gets that little bit of a squeak underneath. Now he's going to jump to the inside with a drag race down the back straightaway.
So here you go. They are door to door now. That pass is already done and over. The 15 is now going to take your lead. 64 laps in, coming to 65 laps. So you've got 40 laps to go now. The 15 out front. And it looks like McRae is starting to get a lot of pressure again by Kirby Wainscott in that 10. Kirby is not giving up that third position now. McRae getting by, but Kirby is battling back. Not only is he doing it, but man, that 81 is working the outside of Pindell. Looks like he's going to start going around the outside of Andrew Teft. So Ira Colehouse trying to get some laps back the hard way.
Yeah, I mean, I said it earlier, Kirby Wainscott definitely been showing a lot of speed here in the Race to Elite the last couple of weeks, picking up a win, in one of their other series races this week. So definitely a lot of confidence in that 10 car right now, all over the back bumper of this 27. That 81, he got something working on that high side. He was gotten by the 98, drove his way up inside the top 5, and he's going to continue to move forward.
Yeah, and he's just really driving a lot of places that some of these drivers are not. And you can see him just really on the outside. I mean, just hanging that high line, and the runs he is getting off of the exit of 2 and off of the exit of 4. Just watch him here, Russ, as he is coming off of these turns with a head full of steam. Now Kirby's going to get loose, and he's going to sneak to the outside. He wants 4th position.
Yeah, before too long, he's just sitting up there. He's going to get to the outside of 27. Looks like he's going to do it right here. Going to try to do a little bit of a twofer if he can get the run off of 2 here. Chase McRae going to slide up, make sure that doesn't happen, but he gets by that 10 car, Kirby Wainscott. Now he's going to be looking to get around Chase McRae.
And there he goes, side by side here through 3 and 4. He is using all of this fresh tire to get himself up to 3rd. He is on the move using that high line. And Rush, you got to think some other drivers are taking note of that and thinking, man, this might be a line I need to take later on. But we saw him later in these runs, and I didn't see a lot of tire wear off of this 81 car.
Yeah, and it's kind of a surprise, because like I said earlier, usually you run that middle to upper line and it wears your tires out just a little bit faster. But man, Ira has found something going on right now in this 81 car, and he is continuing to move forward now.
In a big way. Now 7 car lengths are going to separate him and James McRae in that 27. So he is again on the march, and it looks like the 10 is working that top line, that mid to higher line on McRae, trying to get that pass done. McRae dedicated to the bottom and trying to tire save. Now 35 laps to go, 34 when they cross the start finish line. A lot can happen, but right now this 81 is turning some lap times, my friend. Now Kinsley Smith is your fastest car out on the track at a 29.96, but your second fastest is going to be that 81 machine.
Yeah, he's definitely found something there on that top side. I mean, the 15's been the class in the field for most of this night so far. Not really. I mean, he stretched his lead out. I think he's got about 0.6 of a second out in front of Alex Stepp there. But I mean, over the course of these 35 these last 35 or so laps, if the 81 is going to continue to turn lap times like what he's been turning and able to have that momentum, that 81 is going to be there quick, fast, and in a hurry. and he's going to be battling for this win if they stay green and he keeps those tires under him.
Yeah, and one of the things we have not been able to do all night long, Russ, is really hop on board with one of these drivers, see what it's like to get around Texas Motor Speedway. We are going to do that now, and we're going to choose this driver that is wide tonight, and that is that 81 machine. So we are going to hop on board here and do an inside the lap with Ira and see what it's like to run that top line.
And you read my mind. I was just thinking that. Let's do it.
Really good exit on the exit of 4, and you can see he is keeping that car in 5th, staying well above that seam when he gets back on there. He is keeping that car in 5th all the way around this track. It doesn't sound like he's giving a lot of wheel and a lot of tire running that top line, but he is making that thing work. As you can see, he's continuing to grow on that 43 machine. We'll be quiet right here, Russ, and watch him go around this lap. All right, so it doesn't look like he's putting a lot of wheel in this car, as now Kirby Wainscott's going to get by the 27 of McRae, and Wainscott is going to get himself back into 4th position, and it looks like it was about 1.2 seconds before we hopped on board with the 81, now back up to 1.5, so he has lost a bit of time. Maybe those tires starting to wear in a bit here for this 81.
Yeah, could very well be. I mean, we see that 10 car, Kirby Wainscott, slowly starting. Looks like he's slowly starting to reel the 81 car in. So maybe those tires are starting to fall off.
Now that last lap Ira ran a 30.24, 30.07 for Kirby Wainscott. As a matter of fact, Kirby Wainscott, your fastest car out on the track that last lap. So this 10 machine saving tires early on in this run. Now the quicker car between him and the 81, as now just a couple of tenths is going to separate these drivers.
Yeah, it looks like the 10 through 1 and 2 is running about halfway between that high lane that the Ira was running in the bottom lane, which, you know, we figured would have been the ideal line. Running just a little bit higher up off that line, a little bit lower than what Ira's been running. So maybe something with that middle line starting to come in and work really well for that 10 car.
Yeah, and here he goes. He is stuck down to that bottom line. Now he is almost going to be side by side with the 81. Not quite able to get it done now, as you saw Pindell getting around Alex Gates. And that is back for a 7th position. But I believe right here, Russ, you're going to see this 10 car with a lot of rotation in the middle of this turn. And this is where the tires start to come in.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely seeing a little bit of wear there out of that 81. I mean, the 10 running so much better lap times, running so much better all the way around. Gets by the 81 now, moves himself up to 43. Going to start trying to track down that 43 of Alex Steph. So, yeah, definitely a little bit of tire wear. Now we see Ira getting out onto the apron. Looks like he's going to come down pit road and maybe get some more tires.
Man, it looks like he has chosen to come down pit road. He is going to get some service done. So we'll have to see what is going to happen with these other drivers. So I would assume Ira chose to come down thinking there is no way he is going to make this thing on fuel. But, man, there is a fight going on as Pindell has worked his way around Gates. He is now going to get onto the back of the 27 of McRae, as McRae has lost a position to the 98.
Yeah, I wonder if wonder if the fuel stretch was like really, really close, and the 98 and the 27 were doing a little bit of fuel saving, to be able to try to make it to the end without having to come back down. Because ever since that last pit stop, I mean, these guys just have not had the speed that we've seen out of them so far tonight. They're kind of mired back here just a little bit in fourth and fifth, and just not able to work their way back up front and battle for a top three or top five position.
Yeah, we were watching Pindell. He started way in the pack. He didn't even take a time. And now he's decided to continue on and try to run this race. And he is sitting in sixth, working his way back through this field. He is now on the back end of James McRae, who is on the back end of Alex or Andrew Teft. But as we look at these drivers, I got to tell you, this gap is starting to shrink. Kinsley Smith, one of your faster drivers all night long, now with 22 laps to go. It looks like that 43 machine has found something late, started to reel this driver back in.
Yeah, I was just going to say something about that. I mean, we saw that gap at about 8 or 9 tenths of a second, maybe right around that 1 second mark. And the 43 is now just driven down this 15 car down to about 3.5 tenths of a second now. So the 43 definitely trying to run this 15 car down.
Man, and down the backstretch they go here, Russ. It does look like Kinsley getting into turn 3 and the exit of 4 really well. He is going to extend that lead by about a tenth, but Kirby has cut this lead down to second position as well. It was about 1.9 seconds. Kirby has cut it down to about 1.2. They're going to continue to trade lap times, but the most consistent driver that you've got out here right now is going to be that 10 car, a 30.24 last lap.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen that 10 car kind of come out of nowhere here. Definitely found something, and he's definitely hungry to pick up a win.
We've got Truth Hoke now down pit road. We saw Ira with a great run to the front. He is down pit road. Had his service has come back out. So now the race is on, Russ. Are we saving fuel? What can we do on tires? Do we have to come down and pit, or can we stretch this thing to the end? And man, Troy Thomas picking up an amazing win last week, playing that fuel strategy. Could that come into play again tonight?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, unless somehow my information was incorrect. I mean, I don't see what how these guys aren't able to get, like I said, like 60 to 65 laps out of a tank of fuel. I mean, unless, like I said, something in my system was wrong, but I mean, they should have had no problem being able to make it to the end on that last pit stop, because they were definitely well within that window. So maybe a little misinformation on my side, maybe a little issue on iRacing's side, maybe some incorrect information, but I mean, it definitely could come down to a fuel race. I mean, if this thing's really closer than what I anticipated.
Well, it could come down to a race. As now Kirby all over the back end of Alex Teft in that 43. So it looked like Alex was chasing down and is chasing down the 15, but he is getting chased down. And now it looks like Kirby looking to the inside. He's going to follow him back in line, but he is taking a bit of a wider entry and cutting back down through this exit. And he looks like he is just on a mission right now, as both of these drivers are tracking down that 15 car.
Yeah, they're definitely both running down the 15 Kinsley Smith. The 10 right now has got the most speed so far right now, I think, on the track. He looks to the outside of the 43, trying to take second spot away so he can start running down the 15 car.
What
whether
a
or not
power move.
Got to come down pit road again is a whole nother question.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye on that, but a great move by the 10, showing some speed and tire. And that's really what you say when you get around the outside, is like, not only am I faster right now, but I have so much more tire. I can climb to the outside of you and still hold that thing through that turn. And that is what that 10 machine done. Now, we are going to see, just like you said, what do we have? 13 laps to go. And I think right now this driver, this tin machine, he is on a mission. If he has the fuel, Russ, I don't know if you can stop this guy.
Yeah, right now, I mean, Kirby is definitely going to be. I mean, you know, I said it earlier that 15 was going to be the car to beat, but right now, I mean, Kirby Wainscott has found something, found another gear, or found a little bit of nitrous in his fuel on that last stop, or did something, because right now, this 10 car is hauling, and he is looking for this move.
Down into one they go. Kinsley still holding that bottom line. And Kirby, and it looked like it took him a few laps just to measure up Alex and get by. Might do the same thing, but we saw where that pass came from, and it was right here on the exit of 3 and 4. And he is going to try this again. Now he's going to get tight on the exit of 4, not able to get that pass done. But, man, it just looks like, Russ, he is not holding back right now. He is going to go through the center of 1 and 2. And he is looking to get some momentum here to make this pass in 3 and 4.
Yeah, I mean, not running quite as high as what the 81 car was running, but still definitely running a little bit higher than that, you know, than the guys running that bottom line. Able to get that speed coming off the corner, but it's just the 15 right now is kind of throwing that arrow block on him just a little bit to keep him back there. And Kirby's going to kind of have to, I think he's going to have to make a power move to be able to get up alongside the 15 on corner exit where he can't slide up and block that run. It looks like he's going to give it a try here again, but it looks like the 15 is going to be able to get up there and block it off.
Yeah, the 15 is going to decide to block the inside. But, man, I don't know if that is the move because Kirby has shown such great speed, and he is going to take the outside here. And we are going to go quarter panel to fender going into 1. And, man, Kirby just has a lot of turn, and I don't think he can get that pass done right now, but he has shown that outside can be super strong. Now he's going to be all over the back end of Kinsley. Kinsley, again, is going to block the entry to 3 on the bottom, and he is doing a great job trying to hold Kirby Wainscott back.
Yeah, the 10, I mean, I think the 10 definitely gets a really good run out of 4. You see him side by side with the 15 right here. But I think he's running into a little bit of an issue here through the center of 1 and 2. I don't think he's able to quite get that car rotated. As you see the 15 able to just barely squeak out and get clear of him right there. Looks like the 15 is getting a little bit better rotation through the center of 1 and 2 than what the 10 car is being up that high. But he definitely gets that run coming off the turn 4 and able to get side by side with him. Yeah,
Kinsley is doing a great job just feeding that air, being a nuisance there to that 10 car. That 10 car might have run out of tire to get this pass done, but he is going to shoot it to the outside again, and that's where you're talking about, Russ, right there in that apex. He is going to have to follow in the tire tracks of that 15 through 1 and 2 and try to get this pass done in 3 and 4, and now he's going to shoot down to the bottom, but, man, he might have run out of tire. He is going to come down and pit.
I think he's coming down pit road. Yep, coming down pit road. So that kind of makes you wonder if Kinsley Smith and Alex Teft and, you know, if them two are going to have enough fuel. I mean, we see Andrew and James battling right now for P3 and P4. I'm wondering if these guys might be thinking that they're going to be the ones battling for this win here.
Man, did we see a car come down and get a top off? Was that Corey in the Twitty machine top that car off before we went back green?
Yeah, Corey, I think he's the one that came back down because he was the one that was sitting on pit road for just a little bit longer than everybody else. And then I think right as they were coming to get the 1 to go, he stuck back down pit road and topped that thing off. So maybe a smart move on him. I mean, he's currently sitting P7 about 11 and a half seconds back from your leader. But, I mean, if he's the only one that's got enough fuel to make it, really, I mean, it would have been a really smart move.
5 laps ago now, folks, as now it is time to start doing some nail biting, some calculating. James McRae on the march forward. He has gotten by Teft, now on the back end of another Teft here.
I was just talking about it a little bit ago. You know, we weren't really seeing, you know, too much, as much speed on the 27 and the 98 as what we saw earlier in this run. Maybe they were playing a little bit of cat and mouse, a little fuel saving, a little tire saving, and now with coming to to 4 laps to go. Now he's going to start making their turns back up to the front, trying to get this win.
Man, this is going to be something else. We have 4 laps to go, folks. Oh, and caution is going to come out. Looks like Hayden and Ira may be crashing, bringing out a green-white checker. Let's go back and take a look at what happened here. The
Looks
91
like
going
91
down pit
coming out
road.
of pit lane again. Same thing as what Truth Hope did. Coming out of pit road, just got super loose. Come right up, tag the 81.
Just what you do not want to see with 4 laps to go.
So what's the call here, John? Do you come down pit road, grab a little bit of tire, a little bit of fuel?
Yeah.
Or do you stick this thing out to the end?
I think you go rights only. And if you have enough fuel, you go no fuel because you want to get out as soon as possible.
Well, we're about to see what these guys are going to decide here because, man, with 3 laps to go, it's all about that track position. Some of these guys trying to win themselves into the playoffs, they may pull a little bit of a bold strategy maybe and stay out, but we'll have to see what they decide as they come out of 4 here.
All right, looks like Alex Step 43. Now the 15 is coming in. Who is going to stay out? The 98 is going to come in. All of these drivers down pit road to get service. Let's see what's going to happen. Who is going to win that battle off? Corey, who we thought might be able to make it, he is coming down pit road as well. Now, Alex Gates going to stay out. Kirby Wainscott, who come down to pit, he is going to stay out. Jesse Fox is going to stay out. This is going to be quite the battle.
Yeah, you're going to have at least 2 tires versus no tires. I mean, anybody choosing to go 4?
Oh, yeah, McCrae's going to take
wow.
4.
McCrae going 4. Looks like Kensley and Andrew Teff deciding to only take 2. See the 20 going 4 tires. Different strategies playing out with 3 laps to go, coming to a green-white check.
So Alex is going to beat all of these drivers off. That might have been a fuel-only stop. Kinsley's going to get out right behind Alex. But now you still have a few drivers in front of you. That's going to be Wayne Scott. Are they going to be on the back end? They might have to take the wave round. I believe they're going to have to take the wave round.
Yeah, they were down pit road a little bit earlier, so yeah, I'm thinking that they're perhaps a lap down. They're gonna have to take the waiver round.
We're gonna see what happens right here when the lights go out. We are going to go green, white, checker, folks. And there you go. They are all going around that pace truck. So that is going to turn your lead over to Alex Teft in the 43. Kinsley in second. He is in the 15. Andrew is going to be in third. McCrae is your first driver with all 4 fresh tires. Is going to be sitting right there in 4th. Then you got Troy Thomas in 5th, last week's winner. This is going to be one heck of a shootout.
Yeah, I mean, you got some guys with 2 tires, some guys with 4 tires. You're going to have track position. What's going to prevail here? I mean, it's going to be interesting.
3 cautions on the night. Here we go, folks. We are going to go back. Green, white, checker is going to finalize this race tonight. That 43 of Alex Teft, he is going to bring these drivers down. He's going to hop into this Geico restart zone. He gets the option of starting whenever he wants to start. Now that driver is going to duck off. So here we go, Russ. Green flag is in the air. 43 with a nice jump, but not too bad of a jump there by Kinsley Smith. He might be able to pull. No, he is not going to pull that. Andrew Tefts is going to stay down to the bottom line. Corey's going to go on the high line. Oh, we are jostling for position. Andrew Tefts is going to take over second. McRae down with those 4 fresh tires. He is going to be right there in third underneath of Kinsley Smith. Kinsley's going to defend that high line. Final lap, white flag is in the air.
Let's see if Andrew has anything for his brother here on this last lap. Kinsley Smith and Dave McRae both down there on the inside.
Kinsley looks like he's going to get a little high, but he has nothing. This Alex Tefts is going to do, once again, what he always does, is get those tires, get out in front, and just run away with a win. Now on the outside, it might be close.
What's iRacing give it? I think it's the 43.
Unofficial results, I believe that's going to be the 43 of Alex Tefts. Andrew Tefts, 0.02 is going to separate Alex and Andrew Tefts. Kinsley Smith is going to wind up in third with McRae in fourth, Corey right there in fifth, Pindell in sixth, Thomas is in seventh, Alex Gates in eighth, Jesse Fox in ninth, and then Kirby, such a good run, is going to wind up there in 10th.
Yeah, then Aaron Marquis is going to finish 11th. Truth going to finish 12th, a lap down. Dennis Kane, 13th. Ira, unfortunately, after that last caution, had to take his car to the trailer. And Malcolm with the same thing, going to be 14th and 15th. Trevor's going to be 16th, and then Rob Yost retiring early, going to finish 17th.
All right, so there is your finishing results, your official results now here at Texas Motor Speedway, and we're going to see if we can start to have a conversation with some of these drivers as we look to find them. And now Alex Tefts going to burn that thing down. Very well deserved by that driver here in that 43 machine.
Yeah, I had a great run late in the race there. Definitely was able to show his speed. Got some great pit strategy on that last caution. Able to hold off his brother and the 27 of James McRae and the 15 of Kinsley Smith and bring home this win.
All right, Russ. So we're going to see if we can get some of these drivers here in the waiting booth. And it looks like maybe they're having a little bit of conversation as all of these drivers are going to celebrate that win, take a bit of a breath, maybe take the headset off for just a second, stretch their legs, hop into this waiting room. And folks, we certainly appreciate you being in here. We are going chasing starting next week. This will be my last week out here in the booth for Racers Elite, so I certainly appreciate everyone joining us. Russ will still be joined here by Brandon Massey. They will be joining you for the last 4 races of this season, so certainly appreciate everyone giving us the likes and the subscriptions here for Racers Elite Network. And we do have one of your drivers. That's the second place driver of Andrew Tefts. He is going to be in the booth. Let's see if we can pull him in and have a conversation with him. Andrew, this is John and Russ in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Well, listen, man, it was a nice, clean race here in this Next Gen Series. You really were aggressive on that initial start, got some laps led, looked like you had a good car, about middle of the run to maybe the back of the run. Maybe not the best car, but man, right there at the end, I did think you had a chance, and then all of a sudden, right there you are, 0.02 separating you and Alex.
Yeah, I was really focused on the 27 because we had a really tight championship battle going on for the regular season. So kind of more focused on him tonight than the race win. If I could do that, great. But was able to beat him by a couple spots there, and I think I got him by 1 point in the standings. So it was a lot of fun. Um, everybody raced super clean, and can't ask for more than that.
So before that last caution come out, how many drivers do you feel like could have made the end of this race with about 4 laps to go on fuel?
Man, I wasn't sure with the 27. That's who I was really focused on, like I mentioned, and he started driving off toward the end, so I figured he either found out he can't make it and he's just gonna go now, or he thinks he saved enough and can race now. So I wanted to ask him myself. I wasn't sure. I think I was about a half a lap short, and that was without shifting and clutching both ends. So needed to go a little bit more hardcore with the saving in the last couple laps to really make it. So it made me think he couldn't, but maybe I'm wrong.
Well, listen, congratulations on the regular season championship. Congratulations on a podium finish, bringing that thing home in second. It's always good to have close battles like that toward the very end of these races. And man, you have just been great, consistent all season long. Hats off to you. And Andrew, we'll turn it over to you, let you give your shout outs.
Yeah, first off, congrats to Alex. He ran a really good race there. You the yellow gave him a really good opportunity, and he managed to hold on to it. So nice job to him. And want to thank our servicemen and women, you guys, for helping out in the booth. Want to thank friends, family, team, everybody that tunes in to watch, shows up to race. And if you want to check us out, head on over to racerselite.com. And if you don't mind doing us a favor, hit that subscribe button on our YouTube channel homepage. Trying to get to 1,000 now, and everybody helps. So we appreciate it.
Well, you are well on your way. Congratulations again. And man, maybe we have some back to back championships in your future.
Yeah, possibly. It's always tough. These guys are running really hard, so you just never know. It's a short 4 lap sprint. I mean, 4 race sprint. So one bad race, and you really got to fight for it. So see what happens.
Yeah, well, we look forward to talking to you next week. Same place, maybe one position up the chart here and picking up that win there at Daytona.
Appreciate it.
All right, so there is your second place driver. Now let's see if we can get a hold of your third place. It looks like Kinsley Smith has jumped in to our waiting room. So let's see if we can go up and take a quick conversation with him. And Kinsley, this is John and Russ in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Well, man, we talked about it all night long. I felt like, through the majority of that race, you were the car to beat. It looks like maybe Alex was starting to run you down. I guess the first question is, before that caution come out, do you think you could have made it on fuel? And then after that, after that restart, just kind of getting shuffled back. But man, walk me through your night.
Um, I felt like this race was mine to lose. Once we had that first green flag pit stop and I was able to get out in front of McRae, um, I felt like I could start saving my tires and pulling away from him because I was able to track him down that whole first run. Um, but yeah, I was clutching it the whole way. That last run before that caution flag. I still had 4 laps of fuel, or no, I still had uh 3 laps of fuel, so I was a lap short. So I was actually getting ready to pit. I called it over the radio as like that caution came out, so it kind of like saved me there. But I screwed myself in the pits. I got the cursed too far forward message. So um, I think if I would have been able to come out in front of Alex and had the control on the restart, I would have been able to stay out in front. But yeah, that was mine to lose, and I lost it.
Well, I felt like all night long, and we talked about it a lot on the broadcast. It just felt like you were hooking that white line, and I felt like that was certainly the tire saving line all the way throughout the night. You kept that left front fender below the person in front of you, and it just over time you were just, like you said, you caught McRae, and then you got out in front of him, and you were really just kind of pacing to make sure that you were going to be able to make it to the end of that thing. But that's how it goes sometimes. Sometimes you're the fastest car and you win, and sometimes you're not the fastest car and you win. But either way, man, way to go here, bringing home a podium, finishing that third position, and we'll turn it over to you, man. Let you give your shout outs.
Of course, first and foremost, Andrew, he does a phenomenal job putting on all this on, and the amount of stuff that he juggles with throughout this is crazy to me. And of course, you guys in the booth always doing a great job. I'm pretty sure. Tonight was no different. And then my wife and my daughter, they love watching these races, and I'm probably about to go sit in the living room, rewatch this one with them, and feel the heartbreak once again. But yeah, and of course, all my guys at Driving Extreme Inc. Work really good together, and we're hopefully coming back with a better mentality next season, and get more of us in the playoffs.
Well, we certainly appreciate it. Certainly appreciate you coming out here and running with us. Fantastic job here at Texas. Certainly a nice hot rod that you had tonight. And man, anytime you get to be able to finish on a podium, we'll take it. I know you wanted to win, but a podium will finish, and that is a great job by you. And we look forward to speaking to you next week.
Thanks, sir.
All right, so there is your third place driver. That is Kinsley Smith. Now let's see if we can talk to your winner here of Alex Teft, and we're going to bring him up into the booth here as soon as we can work this. Alex, this is John and Russ in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I gotcha.
Well, man, listen, you know, we always talk about that 43 machine as being dangerous on the end of these races, maybe with some tire strategies, maybe with some fuel strategies, but man, you didn't win this on tire and fuel. You win this on pace tonight. So walk me through your race and what a fantastic restart and finish to this thing.
Yeah, no, definitely just try to stay as consistent as possible throughout the race. I qualified terrible per usual. I ran that first stint long and caught that caution, which got all that track position for me, which was huge. And usually, for the most part, whenever I get track position, I can usually maintain it within a spot or two. And the longer runs we get, usually the better I am. So for the most part, everything that kind of happened throughout the race just kind of fell into my lap, and getting that caution at the end there and doing the two tires, that was actually a bit more loose than I was actually hoping for, but it worked out. So I've done that strategy in the past, and I've actually been able to pick up another win here, doing the same exact thing. But yeah, definitely had more grip that previous time.
Well, it looked like you were able to get in and off of pit road quicker than everybody else, took that two-tire strategy and just really got a great jump. It was tight on the end of that race, but I always felt like, you know, coming down that backstretch as Andrew had to stay behind you and you had that entry to 3, that you were going to be able to win this thing no matter what, but you played this thing exactly right. Fantastic job. Great win by you here at this 43 team. We'll turn it over to you and let you give your shout outs.
Yeah, definitely want to shout you guys out in the booth, putting on these broadcasts. Been wonderful broadcasts all season. And think like yourself, Races Elite. Another successful season. And thank Kensley. He was I think he made top 3. He's the one who made the old Planet Express Camry. So definitely got to give him a shout out for the paint and chaos designs. And my friends and viewers that watch all the time, and my fiance.
Well, fantastic job. Congratulations once again on bringing home this win here at Texas Motor Speedway. Look forward to talking to you next week.
Sounds good. Thank you.
All right, so there is Alex Teft, your winner. And folks, that is it for your regular season. It is now go time for the championship. Only 4 races to go before we crown a champion. And congratulations to all of these drivers. Again, I will not be in the booth for the rest of this season. I want to say thank you very much to all of those people that tuned in, and make sure that you tune in for these next 4 races. You're going to have Brandon and Russ bringing you all this action all the way throughout these last 4 races. So thank you very much. We're going to sign off tonight and say congratulations to your top 3 finishers, and we're going to see you next week.